if you don't believe you're the man. You're already finished. Someone out there woke up today ready to take everything you ever wanted. And while you hesitate, he executes. This world doesn't wait for maybe. It bows to certainty. You want the truth? You don't believe in yourself because you've never actually been tested. You've never been forced to stand alone with your back against the wall and your future hanging in the balance. You've been sheltered. You've been pacified. You've been told to be soft, humble, gentle, and look where that got you. Look at your life. Be honest. You walk through this world hoping it doesn't hurt you, begging for comfort, chasing approval. You dress the way others expect. You speak like you're scared to offend. You shrink yourself because someone told you confidence was arrogance, and now you're surprised when life doesn't reward you. The world isn't punishing you. It's just showing you who you really are. Every man who's ever done anything extraordinary had one thing in common. They believed in themselves before the world did. Not when the money came, not when the recognition came. Before it all, when there was no applause, when there were no guarantees, when everyone doubted them, they stood tall, alone, convinced of one thing: I am the man, I will find a way or make one. That's the level of belief it takes to build an empire. And don't get it twisted, self-belief isn't delusion. It's not pretending you're great. It's deciding that you will become great no matter what stands in the way. The moment you start acting like a man who's destined to win, everything around you begins to shift. People feel it. Rooms change when you walk in. Opportunities start appearing. But none of that happens until you make that internal shift. You think confidence comes from achievement? Wrong. Achievement comes from confidence. You build the life you want when you stop seeking validation and start moving like your name belongs in rooms you never even entered. The world doesn't reward the capable, it rewards the certain. You don't need to be the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. You just need to believe so deeply in your mission that nothing and no one can convince you otherwise. That's when you become dangerous. That's when you stop flinching. That's when you stop begging for opportunities and start creating them. You think people respect talent? No, they respect certainty. Because certainty is rare. Certainty is power. And the only way to develop it is to stop doubting and start deciding. People ask me all the time, Tate, how do I build confidence? And I tell them the truth they don't want to hear. You build confidence by doing hard shit. You build it by waking up when you don't want to. You build it by showing up when you're tired, broken, alone, and still giving your all. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's forged in the fire of consistent action. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you stack a brick of belief. Every time you push when it's easier to quit, you send a message to your mind that you're a man who follows through. And over time, those bricks become a fortress. That's how you become unshakable. That's how you silence the doubt. You earn it. But here's the part no one tells you. You're allowed to believe in yourself, even when you're not there yet. You're allowed to walk like a king before the crown ever touches your head, because belief precedes reality. Every empire starts in the mind of a man who refuses to think small. First thing you have to believe is you're the fucking man. You can achieve anything. And if you're not willing to say that to yourself, if you're too scared to believe it, then who the hell will? Your confidence has to come from the vision you see in your head, not the situation you're stuck in right now. You build from the future backwards. You decide who you're going to be, and then you live every damn day like that man already exists. You're not weak because you've failed. You're weak because you stopped believing. You let one setback, one betrayal, one bad week convince you that maybe you're not good enough. And that doubt infected everything: your work, your discipline, your presence. It made you passive. It made you soft. It made you forget who you are. And the worst part, you accepted it. You sat in silence and made peace with being average. Let me be clear. You can't be confident and passive at the same time. One has to die. Either you kill the doubt or the doubt kills the man you were meant to become. There is no middle ground. And I know what you're thinking, but what if I fail? What if I try and I still lose? Good. Let the fear sharpen you. Let the pressure mold you. The point isn't to be fearless. It's to be brave in spite of it. Confidence isn't the absence of fear. It's a refusal to be ruled by it. You get knocked down, fine. You get back up with your chest out and your eyes forward because you believe not in luck, not in other people, in yourself. That's the real win. That's the mindset that makes kings out of nobodies. You want to change your life? Then change the way you see yourself. You're not a victim. You're not broken. You're not lost. You are powerful beyond belief, but only if you choose to be. Only if you stop whispering and start speaking with conviction. Only if you stop playing small and start owning your place in this world. Stop looking around for examples. Be the example. Be the standard. Walk, talk, act like the man you know you're capable of becoming. And keep doing it until it's undeniable. Because at the end of the day, Confidence is not optional. It's your duty. It's the weapon you need to fight every battle this world throws at you. And if you don't build it, someone else will come along more certain, more committed, and take what was meant to be yours. It's not about arrogance. It's not about ego. It's about survival. It's about becoming so sure of who you are that nothing, not hate, not failure, not fear, can shake your foundation. Right? Because I remember being broke, not just broke financially, broke mentally. I wasn't walking around with my chest out. I wasn't commanding attention. I was invisible, not because the world couldn't see me, but because I couldn't see myself. I didn't believe I mattered. And let me tell you something. That's the most dangerous place a man can be. Not rock bottom, not failure, but when he starts believing he was never meant to win in the first place. It wasn't a single moment that changed me. It wasn't a Hollywood scene with fireworks or a sudden flood of motivation. It was a decision, quiet, violent, permanent. I looked at my reflection one day and I realized this version of me dies today because the man I wanted to become, he wasn't coming to save me. He wasn't some distant version waiting at the end of success. He was inside me, buried under excuses, laziness, and fear, and I had to dig him out with my bare hands. That's where confidence is born, not in comfort, not in hype, but in the trenches, in the mornings you don't want to wake up, in the workouts where your lungs burn, in the hours of silence where no one sees the work, but you do it anyway. People love to say, believe in yourself. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But belief isn't some fluffy mantra. It's war. It's you versus every insecurity that's ever tried to silence you. It's standing firm when the results don't show up. It's telling the world, I don't care if you see it yet. I know who I am, because at one point I was the only person on the planet who believed I'd become something. No claps, no praise, no proof, just a fire in my gut that said, I am not staying here. That's what people don't understand. Confidence isn't loud, it's silent conviction. It's the unshakable decision that mediocrity is no longer an option. I remember when I first started making money, not much, just enough to breathe differently, just enough to walk with purpose. And do you know what I realized? The confidence came before the cash. The internal shift came before the external reward. I had already started acting like a millionaire when my bank balance was still starving. Because I wasn't acting, I was aligning. The world doesn't reward the capable. It rewards the certain. I was certain, not because I had all the answers, but because I was finally asking the right questions. Who do I want to be? What am I willing to sacrifice? How hard am I willing to go to make it real? Most of you are stuck because you're waiting for permission. You're waiting for some magical moment where the stars align and your doubts disappear. That moment will never come. No one is going to walk into your life and crown you king. No one is going to hand you confidence on a silver platter. You either build it or you suffer. You either declare your value or the world assumes you have none. And the thing is, once you taste even a small drop of belief, real belief, it's addictive. Because suddenly you realize you've been living on autopilot. You've been watching your own life like it's a movie you're not even starring in. And for the first time, you grab the wheel and say, I drive from now on. People talk about success like it's this distant mountain you climb once and you're done. But it's not. It's a decision you make every day. You wake up and choose to be a winner, even if you don't feel like one yet. You walk into every room like your name belongs in it. You shake every hand like you're going to be remembered. That's not arrogance. That's certainty forged in pain, repetition, and resilience. Confident isn't look at me, it's I know who I am, whether you see it or not. And let's get one thing straight. Your past doesn't disqualify you. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care if you failed, been humiliated, lied to, cheated on, counted out. That's your power. That's your edge. The scars on your soul are not weakness. They're the proof that you've survived hell. So now when life throws more chaos your way, you smile and say, I've been here before. I didn't fold then, and I'm not folding now. That's self-belief, not the kind you post about, the kind you bleed for. So if you're sitting there right now wondering if you've got what it takes, let me make it simple. You do. But it won't matter until you decide. You have to stop waiting for confidence and start walking like it's already yours. You have to speak with purpose even when your voice shakes. You have to believe you're the man even when the world still sees a boy. And eventually, the world catches up. But the first thing you have to believe is you're the fucking man. You can achieve anything. That belief? It's not arrogance, it's survival. It's power. It's the root of every transformation you'll ever experience. And if you don't own that, if you keep playing small, hiding in your insecurities, pretending you're not ready, Someone else will take the life that was meant for you. Confidence is the key that unlocks every door, not because it makes you perfect, but because it makes you unstoppable. Look around you. Every second that passes is gone forever. People waste years doubting themselves, waiting for signs, waiting for motivation, while their future gets robbed by their own hesitation. That clock on the wall isn't ticking politely, it's mocking you. Every minute you waste not believing in yourself is a minute someone else is using to become stronger, richer, sharper. That's the brutal truth. Confidence isn't just a mindset, it's a weapon. And if you don't arm yourself with it, life will eat you alive. The world belongs to those who decide they deserve it before they're handed anything. You're either building belief or building excuses. Fear isn't what holds you back. The real fear should be this, that one day you'll look in the mirror and realize you lived your entire life as a watered down version of yourself. That all the things you could have been, could have done, could have built, died with you. Not because you weren't good enough, but because you didn't believe you were. That fear should haunt you, because the truth is, nobody's coming to tell you it's time. Confidence is a decision you either make now or regret forever. Every person who ever achieved greatness didn't wait to feel ready. They moved with conviction when everything was uncertain. People don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they keep questioning whether they have it. Do you understand how destructive that is? You cripple your own future by assuming it's not yours to take. But here's the truth. Belief is the cheat code. Belief turns average men into legends. Belief transforms silent effort into explosive results. You've got people walking through life sleepwalking, doubting their power, while the few who dare to walk with certainty are snatching every opportunity right out from under them. And what's worse, they're not better than you. They're not smarter. They just decided they were worthy while you're still waiting for someone to confirm it. You want motivation? Here it is. One day, you're going to die. And when that moment comes, there won't be a second chance to go back and act like you believe in yourself. You will either go out knowing you gave everything to become the man you were meant to be, or you'll go out with regret rotting your soul. That's the final scoreboard. That's the game. And no one escapes it. Confidence isn't arrogance. It's urgency in action. It's knowing that your time is limited, your legacy is unwritten, and the only person who can make it happen is staring back at you every morning. Let me ask you something real. What are you waiting for? A perfect plan, the right moment, someone to validate your worth? That day never comes. Life doesn't reward hesitation, it devours it. You either step into your role as the main character, or you live forever in the shadows of people who did. That's the truth nobody wants to admit. Every delay is a betrayal of the man you could become. Every time you doubt yourself, you're confirming the lie the world told you, that you're not enough. But the truth is, you've always been enough. You were just too distracted to see it. When I started building myself, I wasn't chasing applause. I was chasing peace. The peace that comes from knowing I'm not lying to myself anymore. And that peace, it doesn't come from pretending. It comes from bleeding for your vision, sweating through the doubt, and showing up when nobody's watching. That's what creates real confidence. That's what makes your presence undeniable. Self-belief is the foundation of dominance. You can't fake it. You can't buy it. You earn it by going to war with your own weakness until it taps out. And I promise you, the moment you choose to believe fully, unapologetically, obsessively, your life begins to shift. People feel it. Doors open. Resistance crumbles. Not because the world changes, but because you've changed. You walk different, talk different, think different. You stop asking permission. You stop apologizing for wanting more. That's the power of belief. It rewrites your entire existence from the inside out. And the best part, once you have it, no one can take it from you. Confidence is built through repetition, through fire, through solitude. But once it's yours, it's eternal. So here's the final truth. If you don't start betting on yourself, you'll spend the rest of your life watching other men live the life that was meant for you. And I can't think of anything more painful than that. Forget the fear of failure. Start fearing the cost of never even trying. The biggest risk in life is not believing in yourself enough to take any. You've got one shot, one body, one lifetime. Either you make it count, or you become just another ghost walking through life with his head down, pretending he was never meant for more. There's a moment in every man's life where he either breaks or breaks through. That line, that turning point, it doesn't come dressed in comfort or handouts. It comes when you're tired, doubting, suffocating under pressure, and you still choose to say, I'm not backing down. I was built for this. That is where self-belief is forged. Not in applause, not in peace, but in chaos. That's where the men who matter are made. The world doesn't reward the hesitant. It rewards the man who moves like he knows he belongs, even before he has a single thing to show for it. And if you're not moving like that, you're already losing. The truth is, nobody is going to come lift you out of your own doubts. Nobody's showing up to remind you of your worth every morning. That has to be your job. That's the discipline. Every day you either reinforce belief in yourself or reinforce the weakness that's been killing you silently. You can either build the man you admire, or you can watch someone else become him. That's the uncomfortable truth. The bull crowd. There's no secret club, no special bloodline. It's belief that separates the forgotten from the feared. Most people don't even realize how much strength is sitting inside them, untouched, unexplored, wasted. Not because they don't have potential, but because they've spent their lives conditioned to doubt. School didn't teach you how powerful you are. Society never said you were a warrior. They trained you to seek approval, to blend in, to lower your voice. That ends now. You weren't born to be cautious. You were born to be certain. And certainty doesn't come from outside validation. It comes from choosing daily to bet on yourself, regardless of what the world says. Want to feel alive? Start doing what terrifies you. Chase the vision that keeps you awake at night. Speak the truth when your voice shakes. Build the body that makes people respect you before you even speak. That's where confidence is born. In doing the hard things consistently until you become undeniable. It's not about faking it. It's about becoming it. You show up enough times, you struggle enough nights, you silence that voice of doubt long enough, eventually something inside you flips. You stop asking, can I, and start declaring, watch me. I've seen weak men transform into titans, not because life gave them a break, but because they gave themselves no other option. They made a decision that comfort was the enemy and belief was non-negotiable. And the second they made that choice, everything changed. Their posture changed, their energy changed. They started walking like they had nothing to prove and everything to gain. That's the fire I'm trying to light in you. Not temporary motivation, but permanent evolution. When a man finally believes he deserves greatness, the universe starts treating him different. It's real. The world bends for those who stop hesitating. And let me make one thing very clear. The biggest lie you've been told is that confidence is something you wait for. Confidence is earned. It's carved out of failure. It's molded in rejection. You walk through the storms of life with your head high enough times, and eventually you stop feeling the rain. That's what separates the rare from the regular. You think all these successful men are fearless? No. They just stopped negotiating with self-doubt. They buried it, replaced it, outworked it, and they did it while the voices in their head still screamed. That's real confidence. You will never rise until you stop worshiping your limitations. You will never evolve until you start choosing yourself with full force. Not halfway, not kind of, full force. Belief is the ignition switch to every version of success you want. But you'll never hit the gas if you're still waiting for someone to hand you the keys. This is it. This is the message. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You need to look in the mirror and say, I am the one. I'm not hoping, I'm becoming. From this point on, every step you take should scream belief. Every action you execute should look like it came from a man who already knows where he's headed. Confidence is a muscle. And if you don't train it, it'll shrink until you can't even look yourself in the eye. But train it long enough, and one day you'll walk into rooms and shift the energy without saying a word. That's not ego. That's earned self-respect. And it only comes when you stop waiting and start moving like the future is already yours. There is no plan B. There is no fallback. Burn that idea. Either you rise as the man you were meant to become, or you decay trying to be someone the world is comfortable with. And that's not why you're here. You're not here to play it safe. You're here to dominate, to rise, to roar. And it starts now with a decision. Not a hope, not a wish, a decision to believe so violently in yourself that the rest of your life is forced to obey. But now what? You've heard the words, you felt the fire, but if you don't act, it means nothing. If you don't decide, then everything you just heard becomes just another moment you let pass. And if you let this pass, what else are you letting go? How many times have you convinced yourself to wait? How many mornings have you looked in the mirror and seen a stranger, not because you changed, but because you refused to become what you were destined to be? This is the line. Right now, the version of you that's bold enough to believe, and the version that dies unknown, separated by this moment. But you don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You don't need someone to babysit your dreams. What you need is the savage commitment to yourself, the kind of decision that silences every excuse, the kind of belief that walks into any situation and owns it like it was built for you. If the doors don't open, you kick them in. If the lights aren't on, you shine anyway. The first person that has to believe in your power is you. And once you do, the world won't have a choice but to catch up. You gotta stop walking like you're unsure if you belong. You gotta kill that timid energy that makes you shrink in your own life. Confidence isn't about being loud, it's about being unshakable. It's the quiet certainty that you're enough, that you've got what it takes, that you were born to make waves, not wait for them. If you still think confidence is something people give you, you've already lost. Confidence is what you build in silence. It's forged in those early mornings where no one's watching and you show up anyway. It's made in the gym, in the grind, in the days you want to quit and don't. This isn't just about success. This is about survival, because if you don't step into your power, the world will convince you you have none. You'll wake up in 10 years surrounded by regrets you built with your own hesitation. You'll be haunted by the chances you didn't take, the man you didn't become, the life you could have had if you had just believed. Regret is a heavy chain, and every day you delay is another link added. Break it now. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Stand the hell up and decide that from this second forward, the old you is done. No more begging for validation, no more hiding your voice, no more apologizing for wanting more. You don't need anyone's approval to become dangerous. You just need to flip the switch and stop negotiating with your potential. You either take control of your life or you get controlled by everything else. That's how this works. Winners don't ask for permission. They don't wait for signs. They create the momentum, and when it doesn't exist, they become it. You're not supposed to wait for greatness. You're supposed to act like it's already yours. Think at your surroundings. Look at your habits, look at your decisions. Are they aligned with a man who believes in himself, or are they the patterns of someone hoping things magically change? Hoping is not a strategy. Belief without action is fantasy. You want to be proud of yourself? You want to walk into every room and own the energy? Then become someone worth respecting. Earn your own admiration. And it starts by doing the thing you're scared of. It starts by holding yourself to a higher standard. No one can respect a man who doesn't even respect his own potential. There's a beast inside you that's been gagged by fear.